Come on, bro. Why is nothing ever where I leave it? What's up, guys? This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. And yes, I'm a bit flustered right now because things have been moved around here. As a matter of fact, this is the reason why I haven't been on for a while. I have had a house guest who refuses to leave, and they've set up shop in my recording space here. That wouldn't be the problem. The problem right now is that nothing is ever where I leave it. Everything's been moved around. But anyway, guys, I want to talk about something, and thank you guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for rocking with me. I really do appreciate that whenever I leave. Every time I go away, I take a piece of you with me. So anyway, guys, like I said, thank you guys. But listen, I want to talk about this story that I found a bit humorous, and it was on the Huffington Post, and I want to discuss it with you. I just want to make this observation because, that's what I do, and it concerns John Boyega. You might remember John Boyega. He is the Disney fake Star Wars star who spent probably the better part of 3 movies chasing after a white girl screaming out her name. Ray! Yes, that John Boyega. That John Boyega who chased after that white girl through 3 movies, who not only did not return his affections, but ended up sleeping, banging with, making out with, more specifically, a killer. A character who killed his own father, the legendary Han Solo. That John Boyega who played Finn in those movies. This concerns him. Now, what did John Boyega say? John Boyega was recently in a GQ magazine interview, and he made the bold declaration that I only date black women, mate. Yes, he said that. Now, there's nothing wrong with John Boyega saying that he only dates black women. That's his preference. He wants to date them. Let him date them. I'm sure they want to date him. It's a good thing. It's not hurting anybody. However, the funny part is I saw this article in the Huffington Post that I want to comment on because I just want to point a couple of things out here, guys. And the article in Huffington Post, the headline is, and this is the reason why it hooked me, because this is what it does, right? It says here, John Boyega only dates black women. Get over it! That's what it says. John Boyega only dates black women. Get over it. Somehow, I think people won't have a hard time coping with this one. But it goes on to say, I only date black, mate. The British Nigerian actor John Boyega said, who knew that 4 words in a GQ UK interview would launch thousands of hate-filled rants into the Twitter sphere? This is the first I'm hearing of it. You think if there were thousands involving Star Wars actor John Boyega, somebody would have heard of this. Have you heard of it? Anybody? Anybody? I just happened to see this on the Huffington Post, and they're saying that thousands of hate-filled rants were launched into the Twitter sphere. Boyega, who stars as King Gezo in the box office hit The Woman King, We Are the Homer, talked to the Men's Magazine about everything: his post-Star Wars journey, the debate about black British actors often portraying African American figures, engaging in direct activism in the summer of 2020, and much, much more. But his desire to date only black women turned into a discussion about the double standards and preferences. One Twitter user, whose bio says they're not interested in playing identitarian games, wrote on the app, if a white actor said they only dated white women, many would not defend his right to have preferences. They would call him racist. And of course, that is true. And I have an example of that, but I'll get to that in a minute. As many users rightfully pointed out in the replies, white entertainers and celebrities don't say it. Sometimes they do, but we'll get into that in a minute. They just do it. At most, they use vague descriptions such as blondes and brunettes and age-old euphemisms. Now, wait a minute now. Black women can also be blondes and brunettes. I mean, Beyonce, anybody? Mary J. Blige, anybody? T-Boz, anybody? Just about every lead singing black woman in R&B in the 90s through the 2000s had blonde hair. Brunettes, you see them with purple hair these days. But anyway, age-old euphemisms such as tall, dark, and handsome, and most recently, golden retriever vibes to describe their type. We've seen it on Love Island UK. Well, that's the problem. Turn off Love Island. Who the hell is watching Love Island, guys? Come on now. It says here, considering We live in a world where white womanhood is perennially on a pedestal. The sheer fact that a black male celebrity made it clear that he wants to love and cherish us. This is written by a black woman, did I tell you that? He's made it clear they want to love and cherish us without insulting any other group in the process is refreshing. What is always disappointing, yet unsurprising, is the internet's reaction, a telltale sign of rampant misogynoir in today's society. Now, Northwestern University professor Moya Bailey coined the term misogynoir in her 2008 dissertation. The term refers to the specific intersection of racism and sexism that black women often face, and she noted it's used colloquially in all types of academic, cultural, and casual settings. All right, so they go on to talk about that, blah, 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 and everything. And they want to make an issue out of this. Now, like I said before, John Boyega preferring to date black women is really not the issue here. It's the point that this would become a story in itself. John Boyega can date whoever he wants. He seems like a well-adjusted young man. But the point that was made, that if a white actor were to make such a statement, it would be a cause for racism, or entertainer for that matter, is true. And I want to point out, guys, some of you might know where I'm going with this. I want to point out Mr. John Mayer. Okay, now some of you might remember back in, 2008 or something, John Mayer was in a Rolling Stone or Playboy, I think it was a Playboy article, when for some reason the interviewer asked him about black women throwing themselves at him. Now, of course, a lot of black women did throw themselves at John Mayer, as they would any celebrity. You know what I mean? There's nothing unusual about that. As well they should. The man made some very romantic songs and hits and everything. It's not unreasonable to think that some women of all different persuasions would fantasize about this man. But unfortunately, John Mayer went and put his foot in his mouth when he said, when asked by the interviewer, "Do black women throw themselves at you?" Mayer responds, "I don't think I open myself to it. My dick is sort of like a white supremacist. I've got a Benetton heart and a fucking David Duke cock. I'm going to start dating separately from my dick." What? Dude, even in 2008, I believe this was, it wouldn't have been cool to say this type of thing. But John Mayer, I want to keep calling him John Boyega. John Mayer does seem to be quite the asshole, and he said what he said. Unfortunately, he broke a lot of hearts when he said it, because of course, like I said, John Mayer sang such songs as "Your Body is a Wonderland." You guys might remember that. It went something like, "And if you want love, we'll make it. We'll swim in a big sea of blankets. Ooh. So take all your big plans and break them. This is bound to be a while." And he told you, your body is a white wonderland. He told you from the beginning, your white body is a wonder, I'll use my hands. Your white body is a wonderland. He said it. Da-da-da, da-da-da, white. Da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. And of course, a lot of black women and women of other persuasions, they fantasize, "John, sing that song to me." I think even I was thinking that, "John, my body is a wonderland, John." But a lot of people got their hearts broken, and John had to come out and apologize for what he said, even though the way he said it was messed up. It was. But the point is, he was saying, "I got a preference. I want that porcelain skin," he was saying. He sang it in the song, so it shouldn't have been a surprise to anybody, but it was. All right, so he got bashed. He had to probably go to reprogramming training, sensitivity training, all that stuff. He wasn't allowed to say it. But today, you can have John Boyega say such a thing. And when I looked into that GQ UK magazine article, I got a little bit of extra context. John Boyega says he has some rules about who he dates. He says, "I only date black, mate." Then he says, "It's about chemistry, personality, goals. Is there synergy? Can I help you? Can you help me?" He also dates in a way that ensures his privacy. He says, "I'm very disciplined in the type of woman I speak to." Now, for all of you black women out there who might get a charge out of this man saying, "He only dates black, that's great, he dates black." Listen, he just told you, he also wants chemistry. He also wants personality, goals? Is there a synergy? If you're the type of black woman or any other woman who's in the streets fighting or in the Walmart fighting or something like that, John Boyega doesn't want to date you. No, he doesn't. All right? So, the point is, guys, is that everyone is going to have a preference. All right? And no one should be demonized for having that preference. The problem is that if John Boyega had been in the same interview and said, I only date white mates, it would have been a different type of article. Okay? As a matter of fact, his career would be over. I remember when Denzel Washington said many, many years ago, he had a rule about dating, or I should say, being in interracial romances on screen. I don't know if he still feels that way. This was a long time ago. He acknowledged that if he had indeed been seen in an interracial relationship on screen, he believed that he wouldn't have achieved the status in his career that he has achieved. His career might well have been over. And he's probably right. Now, when it's a black woman who dates white on screen or dates white in real life, she is to be celebrated. So, and look, by all means, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, you find love with who you find love with. I'm not bashing black women who date white. I'm not threatened by black women who date white. That's fine. I love to see black women happy. I love to see everybody happy. If you can find happiness with anybody, then you're doing well. I have a sister, a mother that I love very much. My sister is married now, but my mom, she's single and everything. And when my sister was single, I always said, listen, get with whoever respects you, whoever loves you and takes care of you. That's the bottom line. But I just thought that it was funny to see the way this is being written up and to act like somehow John Boyega only dating black is causing some type of outrage and cancellation and all of this stuff. It's really not. You know what I mean? But John, you don't have to trumpet such things, bro. Love who you love. Do what you do. Rock on, brother. I support that. I support anybody in their pursuit of happiness. All right, guys. So that's it. I just wanted to poke a little bit of fun of that with that. You guys can get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this. Is this something that is newsworthy? Is this something that changes your views and opinions on John Boyega? It's just, or is it just kind of like a snapshot of where we are, with our media and the way that we choose our stories and what we blow up and stuff. Much ado about nothing. But anyway, guys, thank you for listening. I will catch you on the next one. This is the Gospel. Oh, you know what? I meant to point out to you guys. I am wearing the t-shirt of the Sporking News podcast. Yes, I am, because every Saturday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, you can catch me on The Dump on the Sporking News Podcast Network, the channel. You will find Scott. You will find Mads Mardigan. You will find Grant Gregory. Most of the time, you'll find Culture Casino. And the lovely, lovely Jane Theory puts in an appearance, and she just classes up the joint. So I wanted to give that a little bit of plug. And, of course, I joined them, too. So catch me there, guys. And once again, thank you guys for watching and listening. Catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on! Da-da-da. Da da da, sing it with me. Da da da, da 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 da, da da da.